Virgo gang, Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Welcome to my channel. We're going to read some tarot cards for you here at the Intuitive Teacup. What's coming in for Virgo? Let's connect with Virgo's energy. Guys, these are general messages. Not everything I say will resonate with you. So know that coming in. Please use your logic and intuition as you see if these messages are for you, if they resonate. Here we go for Virgo. What's coming in? Virgo. Ooh, an ending. A bittersweet. I don't know how sweet it is. It feels like a bitter ending, I'll be honest. I'm not going to leave you with that. Don't you go anywhere, Virgo. I'm going to help you through this. Let's see. So what's the ending? This honestly just feels like you're burnt out and you're exhausted, especially if you're studying for an exam or doing something that is very involving a lot of intense mental energy. You're not taking enough breaks for yourself. You're putting way too much pressure on yourself. It's like workaholic vibe. I think that's what this is. This is not an ending per se of like a job or a project. If anything, it's just like you're burnt out. Your body can't handle anymore. It's like you need to take a day off. Like to me, there's no other solution. You need to practice better mental health and practice better standards for yourself in terms of don't undertake more than you can handle or bite off more than you can chew. And the thing is, I know that you think you can do it, and I don't mean to offend or insult you, but it's like you're not being fair to yourself. By taking on the responsibility of everybody else, it's like you're in a sense, it's like you're killing yourself. Your body is like crying for you to give it a break. Some of you just need to sleep better. I see you falling asleep a lot during the day because you're not sleeping soundly at night. There's something mentally that's keeping you up. Lesson plans, any teachers out there, is something with the transition back to the workplace, especially if you have a lot of anxiety about germs and rightfully so, right? I'm not saying that's bad per se, but you're driving yourself crazy with this projection of, well, what happens if this and this and that? And I think it's good to safety proof and be forward thinking, but not to the point where your anxiety is like through the roof. Like if you're going to plan ahead and set up some wash your hand stations and whatever it is you're doing, it's something about like the return to work or turning back to the office or whatever it is. It's like getting people in a space. All of a sudden it's just like your mind is wired and it's like you're taking on too much. That's the best I can describe it. Like quite literally, you just need to take a break. You need to find your happy place. That makes me think of Happy Gilmore, right? Like go to your happy place. It's not saying like forget the problems, because obviously they're like, if you really want them to be, those problems will still be there when you get back. So you have nothing to lose in like taking a day where you give yourself permission to not think about this thing. And I know some of you are like, well, I'm under the gun, I'm under a timeline, you don't understand. No, you're the one who's not understanding, Virgo. Like that's the whole mentality of no, I'm on the treadmill, I have to get it done. That's exactly what you're needing to take a break from, is those deadlines, is that treadmill of like, oh my God, I gotta do this, like I'm exhausted just being in this energy because it's like you're burnt out. And I feel so bad for you because it's almost like you're punishing yourself without realizing it because you have the highest expectations for yourself, nobody else in the room. So it's almost like you think by not completing it at a certain time or a certain deadline, you're going to get in trouble or people are going to think less of you. I have to be super honest, like, hear me out. You don't have to take this message. People are going to respect you more when they understand that you actually set healthy boundaries for yourself. It's almost like you've become the catch-all, whether this is professionally or even in a relationship, right? If you're always, picking up the kids, if you're always cooking dinner, if you're always catering to everybody's needs, it's like people walk all over you. And I think you're at a point where you're not even seeing that because you're so used to offering up your help and your services. So really, I'm begging of you, like, be selfish, Virgo. Don't take on everybody's responsibilities and chores, because I understand that some of you feel like you need that to feel fulfilled, but I like of any sign of the zodiac, that's going to mentally, physically, emotionally abuse you. Only in a sense, it's like you're the abuser because you keep taking on that. Keep taking on that responsibility because it's like there's this, well, who else is going to do it? Like, if no one else is going to save the world, I have to do it. You're wrong. You can ask for help. And I think maybe that's hard for some of you. Maybe you guys don't naturally like to ask for help. But the good news is, whatever this is, there is relief coming. But I think it has to come from you. It has to come from a point where I want to make these changes. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to do this thing that I keep doing, because in a weird way, it's almost like you have a codependence with merging your identity with your work responsibilities. Almost like, I know this sounds a little bit like crazy and hippy-dippy, but I would almost relate it to like addiction issues, like a workaholic. I think more or less that's what I'm getting at. But it's like rather than hitting the bottle or rather, sticking the needle in your arm, God forbid, right? more or less, it's doing the same damage, but it's doing mental stress to you. You need like a spa day. You need like a walk in the woods. You need an extra 3 hours in bed. Like whatever it is, maybe you need good sex, right? Whatever it is, it's like you need to like give yourself permission to take a break. Because what I'm getting is no one's going to do it for you. Your boss isn't going to be like, hey, Virgo, you've been kicking ass. Go ahead and take the day off. They won't do that because they know that it's like you would never ask for that. So it's like be your own hero. You need to save yourself. And the thing is, I know this seems like this, you're making it out to be this monster, but again, like I can hear you like, you don't understand, I have deadlines, I have this, I have that. In a weird way, it's almost easier in the position where you're at because I'm not telling you need to work harder. You need to go do this. It's the opposite. Like you need to have more fun. Earth signs, am I right? You guys. You guys are little worker bees. You're like, a workhorse. But you sometimes forget to like enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Go out to dinner or, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but like something that just gives you like a little me time. A little like mom time or whatever it is that you need. What's coming in? You have good things coming in. In fact, you're riding towards them. You may be booking a trip or going on some sort of travel opportunity or just, I don't know, maybe you're going on a little road trip. Maybe you're going camping. I don't know what this is. But it's good. The sun card is always good. You're going to invest more time in your creative skills or hobby. Candle making, some of you are you might do that professionally or something on Etsy, something very creative or crafty that you sell. You're going to be investing a lot more time in that because it's good for your emotional stability, your mental stability. Again, it's not like jumping off one treadmill to get on the other of, oh, now I have to make these 900 candles and fulfill my orders. And it's not about that. It's doing it as a leisure activity. And if you happen to sell it, great. Like, do you know what I mean? It's purely for fun. That's really the sun. It's about honoring your inner child. It's doing it because it's fun, because it's silly, because ultimately it doesn't really matter. Whether you do it or not, it doesn't matter, but you're doing it for the purpose of it doesn't matter, if that makes sense. There's an online business some of you are going to work on. But you may have illusions about it. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's saying abandon ship. Okay, I think it has to do with realistically, how much time can you give this? Again, I almost see you as moving away from one task or responsibility that, again, for the longest time you saw it as your duty. Well, I have to do this, this, and this. I can't just do one or two. No, you ask for help. You need to delegate. You can't be Superman or Superwoman all the time. Unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately. I don't want to make this a buzzkill of a reading, but I'm here to help you guys, right? As much as I want to tell you the cushy, fuzzy, happy messages, ultimately, let's get to the crux of the problem. By substituting one workaholic syndrome into another area of your life, even if it's for your Etsy or your paintings or your creative hobby, you're doing the same thing where there's this illusion of, oh, well, maybe if I spend 4 hours in the morning on this, then I can do 6 hours here, and then I'll go for my 1 hour walk. And it's like, that defeats the purpose. Like, don't have a schedule. You're not allowed to have a schedule on your day off. You're going to go with the flow. You're going to have a rough idea of maybe 1 or 2 things you're going to do. And if you don't do it, ain't no big thing. It's like, that's how your mind works. It really is like workaholic syndrome or something about your Saturn placement is coming in heavy on your work vibe right now. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing to love what you do and want to make people happy and feeling fulfilled at the end of the day because you filled that role. But it gets to be unhealthy when, again, you're setting yourself up for defeat by taking on more than you can handle. Like, do you see? You're like, see all these 7 cups? I'm going to drink them all. I'm going to do it one at a time, or I'm going to do it all at the same time. Maybe if I do it in this order, I can do it faster. It's like, it's not about all 7. It's just about the one. Ultimately, the 1 cup, your heart, your emotions, your intuition, your spirituality, your creativity. Settle for the 1 and be happy with it. You have so many high expectations, and it's beautiful to have lots of dreams and goals. But this is going to happen every time you replace one set of tasks and responsibilities with another. You're going to get burned out again. Virgo, this is a lot of energy. The thing is, you guys are highly creative people. In more ways than one, you're efficient and creative even in like the most mundane, whatever, office space or whatever. But I also think that you guys have a knack for something very visual, like a hobby or something. I don't know. Yeah, painting would be very cathartic for you guys. And it does soothe your anxiety, so don't make it that thing where you start having to meet deadlines for your paintings and for your hobbies, because it's like you're making it out to be this again, and that's not the point. This seems like a deep-seated issue that a lot of you have lived your life completely with blinders on, not realizing you do this. And again, it's not malicious. It's not like you're trying to set yourself up for defeat. But if you're at a loss of why am I always burnt out, this might be the reason why, because everything you take on with this, I have to be the best, or I have to, it's not even for ego's sake. It's not even to prove to everyone that you're the best. It has nothing, like it's humbled, if that makes any sense. But that's why it's all the more triggering for you, because there's no boundary of how much is too much. It's literally how I would compare like alcoholism with like workahol. Like there's no limit, there's no boundary. You just keep going and going and going. Energizer Bunny style. And for some of you, this isn't for everybody, but it could be that you are able to maintain that work because of the substances that are not necessarily helping you, but more or less they allow you to live this lifestyle. And I think Spirit is saying you need to withdraw from it all. And maybe you can't go cold turkey, right? I mean, obviously take care of your mental health first, but if some of you are struggling with addiction issues compounded by the fact that you're a workaholic, like how could that possibly end in a scenario where it's going to be healthy for you, right? You really, really need to focus more on your mental health. And really the solution, as I don't mean to make it sound simple, but it kind of isn't, that you just need to pull back. You need to pull back your energy. You need to be able to say no to people and not feel bad about it. Because it's like you're protecting your light, you're protecting your spirit, you're protecting your heart. All right, let's do a new message. Because the same thing is there. Justice, balance, equality. If you're not ready to go cold turkey on something, that's fine, but make small steps towards a more balanced life. Work-life balance, as they say. Yeah. Mental health, emotional health, physical health. What else? One more message for Virgo. Judgment. All right. There's like a big clock. It's like, I'm late. Oh, some of you are going to get pregnant. That's a happy message. If you've been trying, right? I don't think that comes out of nowhere. That's also a message too. If you've been trying for a while to no success or to no avail, divine timing. And I don't do medical readings, but there's something about, well, yeah, if your body is literally just like this ball of anxiety, of course your body's not going to, take in that sense and want to have a child inside of you, right? Because that would be a scary place for your potential child to live, right? In this like anxiety-ridden body, your body is your temple. So make that a nice place for your future spawn, or however you want to say it. Some of you are going to get pregnant, especially with a fire sign, with a Leo. That's going to be nice. And some of you are going to teach an art class, or you're going to take an art class, or do like a paint night. There's something so rejuvenating. It's like you're in your element doing that. That feels really good. And something with candle work. So I don't know if you guys make candles, or you just do kind of candle magic manifestations or something. It's like that light. I don't know. It's almost like the darkness inside of you. When you bring light to it, it heals it energetically. It's like medicine. Candle work for a lot of my Virgos, it's like medicine. So a lot of Seven of Cups energy. So a lot of you are gunning for a new job or a new position, or again, wanting to undertake a lot of work. And the reason the universe keeps blocking it, more or less, is that the universe wants you to really see what this is going to do to your emotional health. I see you wanting to manifest a really good job or a lot of money. And here's the thing. Can you? Absolutely. I kind of believe the universe will only block you so much before it's finally like, okay, let them have it, just so they can learn the lesson. So I think in advance, you would get something that is more healthy for your lifestyle if you were to almost go back to the drawing board and work to manifest more specifically what you want, rather than X amount of dollars per year. Well, what does that job look like? What is the daily routine kind of attached to that job? And is it realistic? Is it practical? If you're going to start a family, do you also want the CEO position? Like, where's the balance? That's the bottom of this deck. Balance, scales. That's really important for you to consider right now. And again, I hate to say stop or don't. That's really not how I want to read tarot. These are options. These are possibilities of energies available to you should you want to take advantage of them. The finite thing of I have to be done by 5 o'clock so I can punch out and then be here by 6 and then do that at 7 and then dinner at, whatever. There's something about not enjoying life's full potential when you're constantly looking at the clock and living your life via a very strict timeline. If that works for you, if you feel healthier, if there's, you know what it is? It's a control issue. It makes you feel like your life is in control when dinner's on the table at 6:30, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Only, again, it's like, everything in moderation. I think you're gung-ho and you're going hard on so many things to be perfect that it's like, is there even enjoyment here anymore? Or has it just become this banal, like, this is just how it is, it's my routine? Is there joy in that routine? If there isn't joy, you need to mix it up. I think, and I don't mean to offend, but I almost sense there's an illusion about this routine, about, well, it's my stability, it's how I do this, it provides me with that. And maybe it does, but I also think you're glossing over the things that are not so good about it. And I think universe is really trying to get you to see those things that are, I don't want to say glamorous. It has nothing to do with superficiality, but again, emotionally, mentally, your health, it seems to be really taking a toll doing this thing or trying to live up to a certain timeline or expectation. This is about taking your power back and setting healthier boundaries for yourself. Even if it means like sacrificing the throne, or I'm even going to say sacrificing the ring, something about a wedding ring, or a long-term commitment, a contract, if it's like a business contract. The universe, I just keep wanting to say, it's not that you are going to be denied this forever. This is not a death sentence. This is not like pack up your bags and go home because it's never going to happen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this, whatever this thing you're gunning for, especially a raise or a promotion, you will get it eventually, but it would come to you in a more beneficial way if you were to go back to the drawing board and negotiate or compromise or be flexible on the current schedule of it, but more so the routine that would follow with it. Because right now it's like you don't have room in your life to undertake any more responsibilities. It's like you are maxed out, and even at that, universe is saying, can we take a break? So the fact that it's like you're trying to add something bigger, something more, something heavier to the mix, universe is like, what is Virgo even thinking? Like, that's what I mean about the illusion or the disillusionment, or however you want to say it. It's like, be careful what you wish for, because just because you get it doesn't mean it's going to succeed on all accounts, because ultimately it's your responsibility to make it succeed. And the thing is, I know you guys will find a way to make it work, but in the meantime, you're going to sacrifice your health for it. And that's not what universe wants. Universe really does want you to be happy. And again, I know we hear that and we're like, it's like we forget how important that is. And it's like, absolute minimum. You have to feel like you're thriving, that your soul is enjoying your time here on earth. Because believe it or not, when you're happy, you have an easier ability to make other people happy. And there's balance to it, Virgo. You're really being asked to reassess all the work you're putting into something. Where are you, maybe you are glamorizing it, but where are you glossing over the things that really aren't working for your life, but you're doing it to please another? That's a really important message here, especially your earth sign. It doesn't have to be male or female, but if you're married to or dating an earth sign, it's ironic because you yourself are an earth sign, but it's like it's not a 50-50 thing. It's not a two-way street. There's someone who is falling short of your expectation, but you're covering for them over and over. This could even be a coworker, something to do with money or shared finances, group resources, something at work. You're doing all the hard work and labor-intensive stuff, and it's natural to you because it's just in your personality to do it. And universe is saying, draw the line. It's time to draw a line in the sand and stick to it. You need to practice healthier habits, and it really protecting your energy. That's the major thing here. There's going to be an awakening or a recognition about something. Some of you manifested a job opportunity a while ago in the past, and you declined it for reasons that were not necessarily, I don't know if true is the right word. It was less than you desired or less than your expectation, or even like it was less of a workload than you were used to. So you declined it because you're like, no, I want that one. Like, I want bigger. I want more dollar signs. I want more, whatever. It was bigger. It was more significant. The title of it, the recognition would have been more, The thing is that the one that you let go, the one that you declined, was actually really good for you because it would have allowed you to practice more healthy daily habits. That's not gone forever. Something about that is going to come back around again. And this time you're going to be asked to really consider, this could be really good for you. So why are you telling yourself that it's not? Who are you trying to please by taking on more than you can handle, or bite off more than you can chew? I'm not saying you're doing it consciously, Virgo. Again, I say this, completely, I'm team Virgo all the way, but I do think it's like the universe is essentially trying to bring torch, light, fire to something about your personality, especially the way you process things mentally. It's like you'd rather keep it hidden because you don't like to go into that territory of going through the psychology of why you do the things you do. That in itself is where the lessons lie. So if something is stuck, turn to your mind first. Again, like your narrative. What are you telling yourself that may or may not be true? It may have been true for you at one point in time, but maybe things have changed and you haven't realized it. That illusion of, well, this is who I am and this is my life. No, that was 20 years ago when you were first out of college, or, and you could do that kind of work. Your life has changed and there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, it's like embrace it. Your life is beautiful, right? There's so many untapped avenues, but it doesn't mean you have to take on more. Untapped avenues could be releasing roles and responsibilities and jobs to make more time for, again, simple pleasures, daily activities, fun things, going on a drive, turning up the radio and just singing and shouting and that kind of thing. I do think there's a job offer coming to you. I honestly, I feel like there's two. Or if it's not a job offer, whatever, an opportunity, let's say it that way. It could even be romantic, I suppose. It's almost like the one you're putting up on a pedestal isn't necessarily good for you, but you want it more. It's the one that you see as lackluster or less than. Again, I'm not saying you have to take it, but there's something for you to really consider about that, because maybe the universe is offering you that option for a reason that you're not wanting to see. Maybe it'll be better for you. And I'm just asking you to consider it. That's all, right? Weigh out the options. And I know you're good at that. Bust out the pen and the paper and make your pros and cons list. Absolutely, right? That's probably a natural skill you guys have. That's what I mean. You don't need to get rid of all your skills, but you need to use them in a way that caters better to your lifestyle. All right, Virgo, that's what I got for you. Don't shoot the messenger. I hope this was positive. I tried to give you all the gems I could on this, but this is a weekly reading, guys, right? So if you made it this far, please like the video. I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot. Bye, Virgo.